podcast of Just Like Us.
Us.
I'm your
One
host,
day.
Jackson Bird. This is my co-host, Easy.
Hey everybody,
Let's get
what's
right
up?
into it, you guys. This is episode 20, season 2. We are talking about laughing through it all. Let's go. Okay, so it's all about laughter. And if you guys know me or if you've been around me, you know that we like to laugh a lot. I smile a lot, I laugh a lot, I joke a lot. Life is way too short to be too serious about things. And I get it. There's a time and place for seriousness, but now's not the time. You gotta laugh. What you laughing about?
I don't even know. I have the giggles. You know how some
Laughing
days
through it,
you get the giggles. Like, I don't know, just you're watching like funny things or you're remembering some funny things that happened or some conversation or things that even happened to you, right? And you're just like, wow. Am I? All right, let me switch on over.
Come on.
How's that?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, yeah. So I have the giggles, and it's okay.
That's good.
Like, it's
Again,
good to laugh.
It's perfect for this because right now we're talking about laughing through it. And whatever it is, feel free to laugh, you guys. It's a good time in life to laugh because, again, you never know when it may be your day. Okay? And I don't want to take a chance on not being as happy as I can, for as long as I can. Some people may argue, but I think it is a medicine. I think it is one of the things that it heals me. I have a spirit that I thrive when I laugh. I thrive when I'm smiling. I feel so good when I am, I'm able to take things lightly, and again, I know that it's not for everybody. Some people like to be serious. Some people, even like the drama. I personally like to have fun. I enjoy life. It's too short. I want to die laughing. If I'm going to go out, I want to go out laughing, So that's what we're talking about. So, we're sharing real stories that had us crying first, then laughing. So this is what we're diving into. Some things that we can share with you guys that has had us laughing in the past and continuously keeps us smiling. Because again, laughter equals medicine for the soul. That's right. Proverbs 17, verse 22. Let's go.
It says a cheerful heart is good medicine.
Right.
Right. It really, really is.
Like, it is.
It's definitely cheered my heart up when I can look back and laugh at just some of the things that I've done or the way that I've behaved and went like, man, what was that all about?
Right. To be able to laugh through it. And again, there's time for seriousness, but this is not that time. We're going to take a moment and just enjoy what we have right now. And I think laughter is really, it's a medicine. It's really a way to, if you guys know me, I smile and laugh a lot, and that's, to me, I love that about me. I enjoy that about me. I enjoy being a fun person. I have fun with whatever. Somebody died, hey, at least they don't got to pay bills no more. And I'm just saying, some people don't like that kind of attitude, but I'm not for everybody, but I am for me. I am for letting. So,
you know what it feels like right now? You know how like when you were in school or you're in church and you're like, not supposed to laugh.
Oh yes, we all know that. Yeah, I know you guys have been there too, where you're supposed to be quiet in bed. You got your brothers and sisters in the room or something, and like you're not supposed to be up, and you just can't stop laughing.
And we're like,
wooden spoon. I don't know if they do that nowadays. We probably don't do for that nowadays. We used to get the wooden spoon or the coat hanger or the shoe. So, even then, like, I remember my mom spanking me one time, and I'm laughing. I couldn't help but laugh. I think my dad had already passed away, so I'm like, my mom trying to whip on me. I'm laughing. I couldn't help it. So even then, I just make her mad more. It did, you know that
Did
too.
it
I'm
make
sure
you laugh
as a
more?
parent, yes,
I just
absolutely.
know.
You guys know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
where you know you're supposed to be in trouble, you know you're supposed to be taking a whipping or punishing, and you just can't help but laugh. It just makes you laugh even harder and harder and harder. Yeah, I love that. I do. So again, this episode is about just having a good time with things and not taking life so serious. Just laugh your way through it. Why not? And again, we're not making fun of people. We're not saying to go out and laugh at other people. But you guys have seen those videos where somebody slips on ice and you know that they probably got hurt, but you're laughing. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying laugh at other people's expense. But have you ever laughed at something that you've done in the past and you know it hurt and you get to laugh about it now? We're talking about that kind of stuff. The laughter that just, the gut wrenching that just hurts your stomach. You look down, you got a six pack after you've been laughing so hard. You're like, damn, love that. Yeah, so. This is that time. This is the time to laugh and smile. So thank you for everybody who's joining us. Deanna's in the building.
Love you, D.
Man, we love you so much. Laughter is the best medicine by far. And again, look, I'm going to be honest with you. people don't really seem to guess my age. Almost 95% of the time, people guess, and maybe they're being nice. I don't know. But when I ask people how old do they think I am, because I do that, oftentimes they say about 10 years younger than what I am, which is, it's cool, but I want to be older than what I am. So, no, really. It feels like, to me, I'm like, I think a lot of this, being young is young at heart too. I mean, when you're young at heart and you're full of life and you're not so overwhelmed with car payments and bills, which we all know can be overwhelming. It's part of life, but it doesn't have to be. But if you can really take life and just enjoy the simple things and not be so enveloped by the mundane every single day life that we have, I feel young at heart. I do. And especially with all of the damage I put my body through. Like, man, I'm probably 60 years old. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I probably stayed up twice, if not 3 times as much as all of you guys. I've been up several times, several nights. Many moons have I spent up all night. Okay. And so my heart was pounded a lot. I mean, I spent a lot of days where I spent the whole day and night up. So I've aged, but I feel like I'm young because I laugh a lot, I smile a lot, and I feel like I contribute like healthy things to make people laugh. I do make a lot of people smile during the day. I do, and I feel like
we both do.
You do too, absolutely. I was at the dentist the other day, and they said, "Man, your wife, she is sure is funny." and I'm like, "Isn't she?" And I was like thinking about it as I'm watching the TV, laying down.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking like, what kind of stuff you possibly could have said? Like, what did she say? And I asked them what she said. They were telling me how the stuff that you joked about. I mean, just your personality, personality type. Just you're fun. I mean, you're a very fun person. So, and I think that adds up to us feeling young and looking young and being young at heart. So if you guys can attest to it, let me hear you in the chat. Laughter keeps you glowing, says DeAndre. Yes, it absolutely does.
Can you remember a time, like something, even if it's from your childhood or something that we went through where we're like, oh my God, what was that all about? Or I can remember one night I was sitting in the living room and I had it was dark and I had some stuff there and one of those canister style, what was that, a vacuum with the long a still handle on it, right?
Wow.
Is that what you call it?
Talking about way back, huh?
Bless you. Not too far back.
Just this season.
But I had this thought, I should get up and turn the light on. I was like, no, I'll make it. And man, I stepped on that part of the vacuum and the handle just came up, hit me right in the nose. It was like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Oh my God. It was, and it's dark and everybody's asleep, but I'm up and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I hope nobody saw that. Who's going to see you?
Right. Yeah.
No one's going to see you.
Yeah.
Only you know that just happened, right? But little did I know, like, not only did it hit me once, smacked me in the face twice, 2 times. And so, of course, when I woke up the next morning, I had 2 black eyes, and I was like,
I swear your nose is still bridged out.
No, it is. Like,
it is.
It hit me hard.
It did. Your nose wasn't bridged out. Like it's like it's halfway broken.
Anyways,
I think she would work after that.
I did. I had to go to work. So I was like, oh my gosh. I had like 2 black eyes.
Not black guys, but black eyes.
But, right, black eyes.
Black eyes.
Yeah, black eyes. And like really black eyes. And I did the best I could to like cover it up, but
I'm sure her employees are like the people she work with probably thought that I was beating her.
Right,
but no. I'm sure. I mean, like
the vacuum.
She literally stepped on the back. You guys remember the Simpsons show? You guys remember the Simpsons show? Sideshow Bob. When you step on a rake and you hit it in the face, and you step over here and you hit it in the face. I didn't see it, but I laughed about it after that. Not that night, not that day, but after the fact, I'm picturing her. I can't even picture how the dang vacuum squats up and hit her in the face. I don't even see how it happened.
It's the way, it's that type of vacuum where, you adjust it by sitting on it, right? And so it was like down, and I didn't realize, like, it's dark in there, and so I didn't realize that I had stepped on that part of it, and it just shot it right up twice, not once, twice in the nose, in the face, 2 black eyes. Like, I still laugh about that. Like, even when I'm by myself, I just be like,
what about you guys? Have you guys had anything happen to you in the past that maybe wasn't funny at the time and that you can laugh about now? If I'm thinking about it, I was skating. We were skating not too long ago, roller skating, and I don't fall much. Like, I do a lot of tricks. Like, I'm doing fast tricks. I'm doing all kinds of different crazy tricks, and I don't fall much. But I was in the middle of the rink, and I didn't really practice much. I just got out there and was like doing crazy stuff, and I went like this, and my legs flipped hard, like, and I landed, wow, and I mean hard, and my arm, like, it like kind of went back behind me, and I landed on it, and it still messed up from then. But I wasn't laughing at the time. I'm like, oh shoot, I just heard something, my back hurting, you know what I mean? Because you're getting that age where I'm 42,
Yeah.
and you don't heal that easy, right? You guys, when you get old, you don't heal that quick like you used to. So anyway, I didn't laugh about it then, but I looked back at it now, and I'm thinking, I would have busted I would have laughed like crazy if I seen that. But I also, when I had an afro, I would come home sometimes, and this happened more than once. I had an afro, you guys, look, check it out. So my hair was this long, this big, and like if you see where my arms are right now, just picture it being round. Picture it being round, okay? And I would pick it out, and I would literally have to pick it out like this for about 45 minutes to an hour, and I'd pick it all the way here, and then I would pat it like this, and I would round it off, right? So I would do that, and then there's a couple nights where I got home, and there was a cigarette butt in my hair on more than one occasion. And the only thing I could think of is somebody was just like wanting to see this tumbleweed go up in flame. I'm gonna flick it, because I mean, the younger me might have done the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I got it. Hey, look, check it out. And I would come home a couple times, and I pulled out this. And at first, I would be mad. Like the first time it ever happened, I was thinking who, where, and then I couldn't help but laugh, because I could see me doing something like that as a young kid. As a young kid, I was a little jerk, man. I did that kind of stuff, and so I couldn't help but laugh. And that happened more than once, where a cigarette butt was in my hair. Don't ask me why. I have no idea why it was a cigarette butt. It was like 2 or 3 different times where a cigarette butt was in my hair. I don't know if it was the wind, or I just got one in there. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's something I was able to look back on and laugh about. It would have got me mad at first. So, and again, laughter it's really a medicine, guys. Just like Deandra said, if laughter keeps you glowing, it really does. I feel great about that.
Right. It just feels better to laugh at. Who said it? Was it Kevin Hart he did a show that was laugh at my pain?
Oh right, yeah.
Love that show. And he was here on May 30th, and I was like, oh, I forgot, and I wanted to go. Anyways, he keeps me laughing because he took his pain and he laughs at it. He makes jokes about it, and and then the way that Justin, like, when he used to like laugh at me for things, I would get upset because I couldn't, I wasn't at that place yet where I could laugh at myself. I was still like serious Sally, and not that I never laughed, I did, but not at my own expense, right? If it was happening to me, now that it's happening for me, right now I can laugh, and I laugh a lot, like just. Like I'll be driving and just think of something and just start laughing, or if you make a wrong turn, or you didn't follow the directions right, or what I mean, stuff like that. Like I just laugh at that. Like, man, I know my way around here. What was I thinking? I should have, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
So from parenting fails, you guys, recovery chaos, we laugh through a lot of stuff, especially now more than ever, because I told something to Letty about 10 minutes ago. Like, I think I'm getting a bit of like these vibes of like a little bit of depression. You know what I mean? I'm just being extremely transparent with you guys and a little bit vulnerable, because I haven't been as cheerful and upbeat as I usually am, and I don't know what it's from or why, but I don't know if it's my job to go and figure it out. You think that it's my body, it's my mind, that I want to go figure out what's going on with me. But I think I've done so much trying to figure things out in my life that when I try to go figure things out, what it resorted to is me going and using. And I'm not saying that's going to be the case now. Right. I'm just saying me wanting to know the answers to these things. I think it's been something that it's been an issue in a sense. So I don't want to figure out what it is. I think I'm just going to kind of roll with the punches and let this, whatever it may be. And the reason I'm saying this is because even in this part of my life where I've had these little hiccups, or what I think might be like little things of depression or whatever. I mean, I've never been diagnosed with it, but I can only assume that when I feel like lonely and I got my family around, or when it feels like it's dark and it's like bright outside, I can only assume that there would be something considered like a bit of depression kind of. So, I'm just not going out and chasing the happiness that I know is here, because I am a happy person. By naturally, I'm just in a good mood. But I mean, again, it's also by choice, you guys, because I could wake up and look at the negative sides of things, or the dark side, or the bad, or whatever you want to call it. But I choose to wake up and give kisses and hugs and be happy and thankful for what I have. So I think that says a lot, and it goes a long way. And with this, whatever this is going through, that I'm going through right now, just like Deandra said, honor the season that you're in. Yeah, and I love that because it really makes sense. It's like, why fight it? It is what it is. These things might be considered to be growing pains, right? You know what I mean? And there's times where I feel sometimes like I just want to shed a tear. Sometimes I feel like I just and I'm like that. I could be sensitive at times. You know what I mean? I'm not oversensitive. I don't mind being a male and being sensitive. I'm cool with that. I'm definitely cool with it because my son gets to see it, my lady gets to see it. But I do have a passionate side, a sensitive side. You know what I mean? I'm not just like this, a full-on, alpha male that doesn't know how to be genuine and soft. Like I know how to get in touch and in tune with myself. And I love that.
Yeah, me too.
I do. I think it's cool because don't get me wrong. But I'm really a lover. I really am. I'm a loving person. I love people. And if you guys have been around me, I told you I love you several times. And that's just how I am. And I don't have to be like that. I choose to be like that. I choose to be happy. I choose to be in a good mood because it suits me and those around me. And I'm not talking for Letty. I just feel like for me, it's what I've grown to be accustomed to that makes me and those who are close to me want to be around.
Yeah, I would say I think we were both really good about even, laughing through our pain, going through what we were, going through while we were using substance. There were still times, there was laughter, there was love. We had all of it, right? It wasn't all like Debbie Downer stuff, But I've learned to embrace all of that. I had to get really in touch with, the dark parts of myself, the things that I wanted to hide, the things that I thought were flaws, and that maybe I thought other people thought were flaws, and I have been able to laugh at a lot of that stuff, right? And I like that we're not both in, that space together at the same time. Like, I'm just giving you space to be able to feel what you feel and not have to fix it every time. I'm so with you on that. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. We all go through these seasons. Just let it come out however it's going to come out, right? And then laugh. Like, I do like to find things. Like, I forgot what I was watching this morning. I couldn't remember if it was on the TikTok. Oh, this guy had a fart machine on his phone.
Those are funny.
It was hilarious. I don't know why.
Those are funny.
It's always
those
funny.
Are funny because you're like,
I've done it myself.
I've
done it myself. That's what it is, right?
I know that part. I the way. Right. Yeah. Oh, that's when you had to change your bras.
Just people's reaction. Right? He's got his phone there, and there's no shame in his game. He's in. I don't know if it was like Walmart or whatever, but
those are funny.
It was really loud, and I mean, it's that really gut wrenching laugh, like what you said, where you got a 6-pack after that. And you remember that one time when shortly after I, got clean, and we went camping with our friend Chris.
Yeah.
And I just started laughing, and you were like, "What?" Yeah. I could not stop laughing.
Yeah, I mean, come here.
I thought I was like gonna die because I couldn't catch my breath. That's how much I was like for a good solid hour of laughing. So imagine the calories I burned just like that.
Remember that joke?
Anyway,
I laughed the hardest I ever laughed, I think, in my life with Justin's joke. I would love for him to come tell you guys his joke. Can you just come tell me the joke real quick? Even if you don't have to come on camera. You don't have to come on camera, just come right here.
No.
Anyways, okay, so this was about 3 weeks ago, and Justin Jr. says, "Dad, I know how to make you say the number 19. I said, "Okay, let's go." And so he said, "Okay, what's 2 plus 2? What's 4 plus 4? What's 6 plus 6? And then he says, "Okay, what's 90 plus 1? I said, 91. He said, "See, I told you I'd get to say it." I said, "You said 19. He said, "Told you."
Yeah, that was,
I don't know why. I don't know why,
good.
But I think I started dying laughing. Like I was the hardest I laughed in a long time, and my stomach was hurting. I couldn't help but like he got me. You know what I mean? Like that was ingenious. And so those kind of moments that you won't forget. That you know what I mean? Like, can you guys remember a time where you laughed that you just couldn't help but just that stomach hurting moment where you couldn't help it? You know what I mean? moments are the kind of moments that you're gonna remember, unless you're not a happy person, unless you don't like remembering the good times. But so that with little Justin had me dying laughing, and I thought it was. Did he get you on it?
He didn't get me on it.
No, he got Bray on it.
So
he got Bray. He got Julia.
He practiced with me, and then I think he got you.
He did. Oh my gosh, the funniest.
Both of your laughs, the way that you guys laugh, you guys have really great laughs, and I think it's like if you've played any kind of board games. Oh my gosh, you remember that one board game we played? Or no, it was a card game, and we had to post a post about it. What was it called?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was called F the game.
Yeah.
F the game.
F the game. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We laughed. We recorded the whole
and
thing.
we recorded the whole
We
thing,
did
and
this
we. Oh my gosh!
Oh, yeah,
just
it was
those
fun.
little small moments like that where you could be yourself and let loose, and everything just kind of organically happens, and you can laugh not just about your pain, but even the good times, everything. For me, that's really gotten me through a lot of things.
Yeah, me too.
If I'm feeling down, I allow myself the space to, but I don't want to. I don't want to get stuck there,
Right,
because I was stuck there for a while. And like I said, I still laughed, but it was almost like behind closed doors. I would just sink into this dark place, and I don't have to today. Man, we got the distractions. I'm like, something shiny. Anyways, it is what it is. But who said
So
this?
so
you're-
Deandra said you're between frequencies, so you're probably between your old self and your new self. I like that. That usually feels like depression or malaise. Never heard of that. You're in the process of shedding your old self and embracing your new. Ooh, I'm glad you said it, because I don't want to consider this to be depression, because it is. I don't feel the same, because I felt the depression side where I'm sitting in my house and I know how my house looks, but it doesn't look like and feel like my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like kind of like in the movies where they zoom out, but it's going close. Have that weird feeling of like it just doesn't feel, like the normal whatever it is that you're. And so it feels like I'm going through phases, and I think what she just said, Deandra, was you're between frequencies.
Yes.
I think that's a really good way to describe it. Thank you for that info, because that's what I'm gonna label that. Going and moving through different frequencies, growth, if you will, and I'll embrace that as that. I want to at least look at it in a different light, because I don't want to feel like it's depression, because it just doesn't feel like what I would think would be depression. So thank you for that tidbit of information.
Great,
I feel that,
Absolutely.
And even being in prison and being in jail, you might call me crazy, but prison was one of my best experiences in my life, because I chose for it and I allowed it to be a really great place to express myself without feeling like I was able to be me how I am out here. And that's, you guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not very often that people can say that, and maybe they can, but I've been in prison and I've been around people who've been in prison. Matter of fact, we had Michael Matalich on here on our episode, I think 33, and he attested that was true. In prison, I was like one of very, very, very few. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, most people go in there and you have to be a certain way. You have to be around your race, but I found it to be one of the biggest life lessons I've ever learned, and so I got a lot out of it, and it was really good because I laughed a lot. And it wasn't that I have to be around people to laugh. You can laugh with yourself. Have you ever laughed out loud and you're in your vehicle at a video or something that you're looking at, and people looking at you like, what's he laughing at? You know what I mean? That happens to me kind of a lot, because I laugh a lot. And I smile a lot. And I'm not just saying this just because, I really, really do. And I'm sure some of you guys can say the same, because laughter is contagious. You see somebody else laugh or yawn, it's like, you see somebody yawn, it's like, you can't help but kind of, laughter to me is like the same thing. Like, you want to know, what is it they're laughing about? What could be so funny? So, and I love it. I think it's really a good way.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I hear you often. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm in the other room doing something, laundry or folding, doing my own thing, I hear him laughing, and then I got to come in there and be like, what are you laughing at? What's so funny? And then we share it, and then we're just cracking up, laughing together.
Right.
And you did mention, right? Being in prison, what were some things that you were able to laugh at about in there, instead of like, oh my God, I'm in here?
There are some funny ass people in jail, y'all. I'm just saying, there's some people who are very artistic that can do tattoos that are like super like, and again, you're in a place where you don't have anything else to do but use your brain, right? You can use your brain, you can work out, you're not going to go out and get sidetracked. There's like, you're in a confined area in a box.
Right.
So you're really constantly using the one thing that you have that they can't take from you is your mind, your brain. And so there's some fun, I mean, like the roasts, like some of the roasts these people do, like, dude, I'm saying, like, I grew up in a neighborhood, I grew up around some hard people, and the roasting that you get when you're around people who are from the hood, man, I'll tell you what, some of the homies from the hood can roast like no other, y'all. I'm just saying, my cousin Tix, he can roast. He'll roast anybody. I mean, it's so in prison, it's very similar. You know, you got that hard mentality, and it doesn't have to necessarily be just the hard mentality people, but it's, you get around those people that are, you know, like they have a thick skin, and it's just the things that come out of these people's mouths sometimes. It's just, there's a lot of things to laugh at, even in a place like that where it's dark and violent, and I personally will find the light in wherever I go. And that's Letty, like, that's true stuff. I don't care what's going on. Like 90% of the time, I'm going to be able to find the light in it, because that's just how I live. That's what I do. And so in prison, it was no different, you know. Again, I went in there with the mindset of not knowing what to think or expect. I didn't know how it was going to be, but I found the goodness in it, and I was able to freestyle rap. I ended up leaving prison on the best note ever. They let me go inside of the guards, their personal, you know what I mean, inside of the bubble, they called it, and they let me get on the microphone. And I've never heard of this, I've never seen it ever, but they let me get on the microphone and rap as I left. And I thought that was pretty monumental. So again, it was really, when I did leave, I'll tell you, when I battled in prison, this was, this had people dying laughing, y'all, dying laughing. Okay, my very first battle in prison, I was rapping against this guy named Michael, and he had a big old gap tooth in his teeth, right? And Letty's probably gonna, you remember this? Okay, so he has a big old gap tooth, and as I'm walking to the place to go battle, right? I'm going to battle with this dude. Check this out, y'all. And I'm thinking of the rap, and I only had like a minute to get there. And so when I got there, they flipped the coin. They literally flipped the coin. I went first, and I said, his name was Michael, and he had a big old huge gap in his tooth. And I said, this dude can't rap, let alone speak. Gap so fat he can floss his teeth with a sheet. And I swear to you guys, the whole place, there's about 40, 50 people around. They're like, and they said, oh, and that just lit it up. He said, and his name was Mike. I said, this dude can't rap, let alone speak. Gap so fat he can floss his teeth with a sheet. And it just lit it up. And so those kind of laughters, those kind of things that, you know, that just it lights the room up and makes things a lot funner and enjoyable. Life doesn't always have to be so hard and tough and like so rough, you know what I mean? Even when it is, you know, I got written up today at work for the first time ever for not putting notes into my work orders. And I'm just gonna say, I was kind of surprised. I was really surprised at how it went. And I'm only telling you guys this because I've never been written up, even in prison or jail. I've never had anything. This is my first time ever. And so even though things get tough and rough with my Afro puff, I still will manage to find the laughter in things. And again, there's a time for it, there's a place for it, but who's to say where and when that is? I feel like laughter is necessary, like a lot. I like throughout my day, and even if it's not a stomach wrenching laughter that, you know what I mean, I still find it good to be able to smile
Yeah.
and have that inside. You know, you can see when
Yeah.
people are laughing, like in their eyes. You know, you can see
Mhm.
that happiness in people's
Mhm.
eyes. You know, so we're back on. Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys heard that part about I got written up today. For
Yeah.
the first time at work, and I don't really think that had to do anything with me. I think it had to do maybe with the other the higher ups, because it really didn't make too much sense. They said that my notes weren't all that great, but I have really great
And I
notes.
was like,
So I didn't really take it seriously. So what I'm saying that to say is, even at the end of this conversation, when my boss is like, "Man, I hate this work part of my job," I was like, "Man, I thought you came in here to fire me or something, bro. Like, what are you all sweating about?" Like, he was all nervous. I'm like, and I'm like sitting there with a dead face, like, all right, whatever, you know what I mean? But he looked more nervous than anybody else in the room, and it was just me and him, and well, it was one other guy. But it was just, it's fun to have a good time and not be so stressed about things. I get that life is life, and we have certain responsibilities. Like if we went homeless today and we didn't have lights, do you think that would be like the end of our life? Do you think that would be,
No.
you know what I mean, the worst part of our life? No, it might even be a blessing in disguise. You know that, because the only people that would see this as a negative are the people that aren't going to be making money. And I'm not trying to even go down a rabbit hole. I'm just saying the state might get involved. You know what I mean? There would be things that could happen because people want to intervene and say, well, your son ain't getting this or son getting that, whatever. You know what I mean? As long as we're smiling, we're happy, who gives a crap? Who cares if we got lights? Who cares if we got a car? And I know some of y'all might even have issues to say about it, because our society is built on money and built on having things structured to where you have a green grass and all this. As long as we're happy, man, you miss me with all that. You know what I mean? For real, miss me with all that. As long as we're happy and we're doing what we feel like we need to be doing, miss me with all the society stuff. I'm just saying, happiness comes from within.
It does.
You know what I mean? Just because y'all do it a certain way don't mean
does.
that I can't do it a different way and make me happy. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, to me, my happiness is coming from within. And what I seem to think may be happy, you guys might not. But man, I sure do find a lot of stuff to be amazing and amusing. So,
But we can all share our happiness together, right? I mean, that's the beauty of it. We can all come together and what makes you happy? What makes you happy? And share that, instead of like always talking about, you know, the bad things that happened. They happened. I can't do anything about them, right? I don't want to forget about them because they do help me, you know, in my today. But I don't want to get stuck there, because I was stuck in the past a lot. And I've really done a lot of inner work and a lot of inner healing for for that little girl in there who, you know, loved to laugh a lot growing up. And, you know, just a series of things happened and I became super serious. Myself know that I'm here for myself and I can laugh. I do. I laugh a lot. Like,
yeah, you should.
especially when I'm in my car anywhere, if I'm in a meeting or
Don't sweat the petty, pet the sweaty.
Okay.
Don't sweat the petty. Don't sweat the small stuff. Most of it ends up being small stuff.
It
like
really
it.
does.
You know what I
It
mean?
really
It
does.
I
Like I'm
love it.
finding that like so much that, you know, what I think people are thinking about, they're not even thinking about it. You know who's thought about it? Me. And so I can unthink it. I can let that go and you know, just continue to pour into myself, pour into the people that matter to me and you know, laugh at the things that, you know, we can laugh at. And, you know, sit and cry with the things that we can cry about and be vulnerable with each other, right? There's a time and a place, there's a season for everything. And, you know, just be in the season that you're in without, we always want to like change it. Like, oh, that's uncomfortable. It's okay to be uncomfortable sometimes. It really, really is. Because I know after that, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh about that and be like, man, what was that all about? That was kind of cool.
DeAndre and Jordan had said something to us that really has, ever since they said this when they were on our podcast a couple weeks ago, was it last week? And they had mentioned something about, you know, allowing your children to see you go through the certain things that you go through instead of hiding them. They're going to be able to learn, okay, I get the adult things are adult things. You're not going to have your kids in the room when you do certain things.
Right.
But, you know, to allow them to see the struggles and what you're going through and to help you see you going through the monetarily and the bills
All
and
of it,
the funding, you know, I think that's important. And I didn't really look at it until Deandra said this to us just the other day, and Jordan, and I was like, and ever since you guys have said that, Deandra, it's really stuck with me. And I'm like, I love that. And I think we took a lot away from you guys being on our podcast because it hit home. A lot of things you said, really,
Absolutely.
especially toward the end part, like where we really got more into the serious conversation about things. Of course, we kept it light and had fun, but when you guys got really, were about, your guys' life and how you guys, function on a daily, it really made a lot of sense. And I've kind of incorporated that more now than I think than in my entire life, like being able to, be serious when it's needed, but also, keep it light. Don't worry about so much about hiding things or being, over here in the room with your parenting and things like that.
Well, I think, the kids are so bright. Like, just think about us when growing up, right? Our parents thought they were hiding it, but they weren't. And so all we got to see was like chaos and arguing and, fighting. But I know for myself, what I do like to do is include, if that does happen, it happens less and less. It's not as like chaotic and crazy as it was, right? Just, but I like to let him know, right, that it's not his fault, that what we're doing has nothing to do with him. And he's so bright and such a caring little soul. Justin. Yeah. And even when my kids were younger, we went through some stuff here at home, and, I would take the two of the kids out on walks because I was dealing with stuff with the two other kids that I have. And I would take, the two younger ones out who were just like, we don't understand, why this is happening or what's going on at home. And just being able to incorporate with them, go out into nature. We would go for long walks and just talk about what was going on and letting them know that had nothing to do with them. But it's them seeing us work it out, right? And we would laugh about it. Right. We would go out and we would laugh about it. We would have our conversation. We'd be walking and we would laugh about it. And it just made it for a lighter, place here at home because it was so heavy. And I think they need to see us, in all of it and seeing us work it out, right? Watching us work things out together too,
Yes, I love this.
In here and out there. And when we're wrong, letting the kids know that. And we love to let little Justin will call us out. And I love that about him.
Yeah,
he'll, and sometimes that's hard because you're like, ooh, well, I'm the parent. Well, yeah, exactly. But he reminds you, like, no, remember you said, and I'm like, ooh, right, man, you know what? You're right. And I can smile and say, you know what, Bubba, you're right.
Our inner child is who we truly are.
It is.
Just beautiful. And also, Jordan says, glory and happiness is in the eye of the beholder. You take control of your perspective on life and decide what you want to do with it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Deandra said, yes, children really have such great conversations about the hard stuff. I know, don't they? They really do. And then also, you can tell the type of life a person live by looking at their face. A person that is genuinely happy, that happiness can be seen on their face, even if they aren't fully smiling. Yes, like when they can see the smiling in their eyes, right? I think it's what kind of smizing. Letty, I love your nurturing. I love you nurturing your kids in nature. Oh yes, thank you guys.
So
you guys are wonderful. You know what I mean? And so Jordan says, but a person that loves to laugh, you can tell by their eyes and their smile. I was about to say, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Get the,
I don't know if I have.
You could tell by that's funny. You could tell by their eyes and the smile wrinkles around them. I love that. Absolutely, right? You have the crow's feet. You know what I mean? The wrinkled forehead. We're getting there.
Hey,
we're getting there. So thank you guys I love that. I love you guys' comments because you know what? You're right. But it's really good to have people like you guys around. It feels great to have good people in your life. We had my brother Nathan's son come into town, right? Shout out to my nephew Brandon.
Yes.
And he looks just like my brother Nathan.
Oh my gosh, he does. Just like him.
And he came out here, and first thing I said was, man, we gotta come over here and kick it because he's a really good kid. He's genuine, he's sweet, he's got good manners. So we brought him over, and it was just a blessing to have. You let them hugs when you give somebody a hug. They give you a really good, just like a deep hug. They just give you that. And he opened up Letty's door.
I know.
And he wasn't trying to. I don't feel like he was doing it to impress me. We asked him. I went outside and cut some the trees down the other day, and he just jumped right in and just helped me out. And just the little things like that, you want to have those people around that just, they reflect you in this just the most positive ways.
Yeah.
And again, like something that Letty told me not too long ago was, not everything is going to be, positive, Paul. Not everything's going to be upbeat all the time. And I actually even thought about this just recently. I was talking to my friend today, and how, I think that I have been masking a lot of my problems with laughter and with positiveness. But, when it comes down to it, like, I don't want to not feel like I don't want to feel like that's not okay. You know what I mean? Like, I get that there's times where it's time to be serious. You know what I mean? When you have to really, but I also feel like I need to really accept things for what they are too. And I'm being a bit vulnerable because I think it's necessary, and I'm okay with who I am, know? So hopefully somebody can learn from this, that, I smile a lot and I laugh a lot and it's genuine. But I also feel like I might do that even in hardships and times. And it may be a way of masking how I feel, and maybe that's a way of protecting myself. You know what I mean? So that I don't go down that depression hill or that hole. And I'm gonna work on getting this situated. And even though I said earlier, I don't want to go figure it out. I think it's okay to learn more about myself. And so I think having a coach or somebody that I can ask these to, that they don't really have an intention, or like, the goal would be for me to get answers. I think it's good to have somebody that I can talk to, and as you guys should too, especially if you're in the coaching realm or if you're a teacher, and I think we should all have somebody that we can bounce things off of. So I want to relay this to somebody that can give me some insight on why is it that I'm so positive so much, and what is the downside of that. And I think it's starting to come to fruition that not everything is positive. And but when it is a time to be serious, like, why not smile?
Yeah.
Why not be able to laugh?
But like we said, I mean, it doesn't have to be a place that you stay in, right? They're just feelings. They're just emotions. They just want to be felt. They just want to be acknowledged, right? And I know for me, like it was difficult when I was going through, like, I like to call my dark night of the soul, right? In that closet, like grief, anger, rage, and I had, you weren't someone that I could come to because you were super positive, right? And that's just not the place that I was in at the time, right? I couldn't laugh. Didn't even know what really I was going through. I just knew that I had called out on God, right? I was seeking him. I was seeking answers to stop hurting myself, to stop being in so much pain and being in so much torment in my own mind. And laughing was the last thing that, I wanted to do. And I had to just feel those emotions. I had to, let whatever was coming out, come out. And, what I did was I put myself in that closet so I wouldn't put that vibration out to everyone else. And I just cried it out. I laughed it out. I cried it out. I screamed it out. And sometimes I would come out and just be like, right. And that would just upset me more.
Everything, I'd be laughing at everything, even if it's something that I shouldn't be laughing at. Jordan says, everyone is human. And he said, everyone is human. They have, let's see here. Everyone is human. They have their own defense to put up a wall to protect themselves. Also, shout out to my friend Tawny Dale is in the building. What's up, Tawny? How you doing, sister? So proud of you guys. You are amazing. Thank you for that. We love you. Thank you for being here. Emotions are the ebb and flow of life. Letty taught me the ebb and flow. She did. She taught me what ebb and flow even means. Honor them all. And just like the tide. I love that. Yeah. Yes, let's go. You guys' comments are amazing. Let's go.
Really are.
Being true to yourself and your emotions is key to healing and closure. I can attest to that.
It is.
I can definitely attest to that.
It really is.
Man.
That's why I can laugh. That's why I can, and still cry. But they're really like tears of joy. Like just having his nephew here and just seeing the kind of person that he is, like his spirit, like recognizing his spirit, like namaste, I honor the spirit
let's go.
In you, my spirit honors your spirit. Like I could just tell. And before I was so clouded that all I could see was my own pain, but I had to get through that first in order to feel everything on a different level and not get stuck in those emotions. They were stuck because I never gave them a voice. I didn't give them an opportunity tell me what they needed to tell me. And when I started to sit with them,
Right. Yeah.
they told me a story, and I was able to release that, and laugh again. I mean,
yeah, right. Go places where you can laugh. Here's something that here's something for you.
Comedy show,
y'all.
Heck
Like,
yeah.
man, we've met some great comedians, and you know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna share a story with you guys. We got kicked out. Look, it was like one of the last times I drank. And me and Letty, I think this is, I'll be honest with you, we got kicked out of, what was the name?
It was Joe Coy.
Joe Coy.
One of my favorite comedians.
These tickets,
I know.
Right? Went up to Tahoe. We was decked out too. We was dressed to the nines. I'm saying we was up there. We was boogieing down. We had so much fun. I set the camera up. We were dancing. Yeah. And then right before the show started, they came up to only our crowd. Like, I'm watching these people. Like, they came up to like our crowd. They like looked at me and Letty like, by the way, the actor or the comedian says they don't want anybody up over in this area laughing out loud. And I'm like, what?
Or saying,
like, man, get the hell out of here, man. So sure enough, about 5 minutes into the show, we were laughing about something, and I seen the dude bolt over here, go get another security guard, and they came and asked us to leave. Check this out. So they're asking us to leave. I'm like, what? Leave from laughing, man? Get on out of here, bro. Like, we paid $300. I ain't going nowhere. And so they went and got the police. So the police came. And they came and they ended up hiking my hands up. And they pulled me up. And I thought I was like, I'm like, man, oh my God. Y'all, man, I ain't going. I need to pay $300. I ain't leaving for laughing. We're at a comedy show. We ain't leaving for laughing. And so they done threw me out, bro. They done threw me out and everything. So, and me and Letty left there. And I was heat. I was like, come outside.
I was like, I'm like, just calm down, babe. Please just calm down.
I was so mad, but I was still able to laugh about it because you know what? We didn't get to see him for that long. Yeah. But we was laughing out the door. I mean, it was throwing me out, but I was still laughing. It was fun, but at the same time, like, there's a time and place for everything, and I think laughter is definitely one of the key elements for me to being positive. I really do, you guys. Yeah. Even in the hardship, even in the hard times, like there's you can laugh about damn near about anything, y'all. I mean, you
but
at
also,
least smile about it.
I mean, but I think too that even when you're feeling, whatever, you're all in your feelings, and Charlene, and you're, it's okay to not always smile. It's okay to just be where you're at, like you said, not to mask them. It's almost like we did the opposite, of masking, protecting ourselves.
Right,
you did it with laughter. I did it with, sadness.
Right, yeah. And she did. She had hers. She had hers. And I think we evened each other out, you guys. You know what I mean? Because being able to laugh through anything, and it's not like I'm laughing at people because I'm not. Because I'm one of those people, like if somebody tripped and they look back at me, and I would act like I didn't see them. You guys ever had that happen where you don't want to see the person see you see them when they tripped? You know what I mean? You're like,
I actually did that myself. I was walking and I had like a coffee cup in one hand and like my shoulder, my bag in the other hand. And the sidewalk was uneven, and so my foot caught it just right, my toe of my shoe, and man, I swear, y'all, I came this close to the ground. But I held I mean,
she hovered. Can you all picture her hovering over the ground?
Oh my God, it was
like she's
for real. I was like tumbling, you know what I mean? Where you're like, oh my God, you just keep going and going, and your feet are going.
Shout out to Charlie.
And then I managed to hold on to my cup.
No way, like the person
and my purse
with the beer in their hand, they don't spill a drop.
Straight up. Straight up.
Shout out to Charlene. What's up, Charlene? How you doing?
I wasn't done telling my story. Anyways, and so the first thing I did, right, because I'm on a public sidewalk, and the first thing I did was like, oh my God, I wonder who saw me. That was some funny-ish right there. And there was somebody over there, and I was just like, you're welcome.
Right? Hell yeah. Right?
Yeah, I've
so you
done
see
it
somebody
myself.
fall or trip, and you don't want to. That's when I wouldn't laugh. Okay, so like I said, there's a time and a place. I'm not gonna laugh at other people and people's demise, or like having people get hurt or something. But why is it that we laugh when somebody else gets really hurt on like these screens? You see, not where somebody's like, they're getting dismembered or anything like that, but like you see somebody slip and they fall, they probably hurt their back or something like that.
We've done it.
Right, okay, yeah. So what do you guys think? Is that true? Is that why we can laugh at somebody else's pain? Or is it that genuinely just because it's funny, right? Like, what do you see yourself laughing at somebody else getting hurt for? Because I know we've all done it, right? Like, we find entertainment and people, and I'm not saying like again, like they really, really hurt whether they're missing a limb. I'm just saying like somebody slips and falls or something like that. Why is that funny? I don't know either. At somebody else's demise, probably because we've all done it.
We have.
So, every last again, there's a time and place for everything. And she said hella. Hella's a West Coast word, right?
That's what I grew up with.
Hella dope. Shout out to Charlene. I think where you at, Charlene? She is in, I want to say she's in Oklahoma.
No,
she's a place
Charlene is here.
No, she ain't.
Yes.
Charlene's where?
Charlene lives here.
Oh,
with
that's your
here
friend
in our
Charlene?
town. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Charlene? Okay. Okay, shout out to Charlene
Yeah.
Burke is in the building.
Yeah.
Sorry, baby.
I was like, nope,
Okay.
not Oklahoma.
Okay, let's go,
Anyways.
Charlene. She said, hell, it is a West Coast thing. I'm just saying.
Jordan.
Let
What
my
did
ass
Jordan
out.
say?
My coffee.
My coffee is.
Yeah. I know you guys have seen that
Anyways.
when somebody falls, they shave the beard, like,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No,
so-
there was another time I was going down the Truckee River and I had packed all of my phone, my money, like some of my stuff in a plastic bag, one of those real
Yeah, yeah.
resealable bags,
Right.
double put it in there.
Right.
And we were going down the river and we hit this little whirlpool and it kicked me out of the raft. And the person I was with, my ex-boyfriend, got stuck in the raft. And the current took me under. I mean, at the time it wasn't super funny. I can laugh about it now, but
Right,
like it
right.
kept dipping me underneath the water, and there was nothing that person could do, right, to come and save me, or they would have put themselves in jeopardy. And I can remember I started like panic, and it just kept like dipping me under, and I'm hitting my leg, and the current's just taking me. And I have like my bag and stuff, my bag's up in my hand like this the whole time. It's dipping me under, and I can remember this voice saying, just relax and go with the current. And as soon as I did that, it pushed me off to the side where I could finally come up for air. And I was like, I still got the bags.
Yeah.
Oh my
Let's
God.
go.
Because I
Let's
wasn't
go.
about to have to go get another phone yet.
Right. Okay. I
Not
got
gonna
one.
happen.
I got one. So I used to cliff dive, right? And I say used to because I've done 90-foot cliffs, like legitly.
okay.
It's a place out in Havasu, Lake Havasu, Arizona. They have these 90-foot cliffs. It's called Copper Canyon. And it's where all these boats they come into one spot, right? They come into one spot, and there's like hundreds and hundreds of boats. If anybody's been up to Lake Havasu, Copper Canyon, Copper Cove, and there's about a 90-foot cliff. It's close to 90
Wow.
feet. And I did a back like gainer. I jumped off and I did like this, and I flipped 90 feet and I overextended a little bit, and I spread my legs out. Wow!
Oh,
And I hit my giblets, if you will, and I hit my giblets hard. And I was drinking, so I was drinking, and I boom. And to me, it was I
Can
was
I
in
laugh
pain.
now?
Yes, it was. I was in so much pain, like I was instantly sober, right? But when I look back at it, it was like I can only imagine seeing that and then having to be wow. Maybe not funny to some people, but I can look back and laugh at it now too.
Yeah.
So, but those are the kind of things that you can look back and laugh at, right, you guys? Because I mean, it's good to have laughter in your life. And I say, I'm
Can I
happy at all
ask you
costs.
this?
Yes.
What was funny about it?
Afterward, well, the fact that I didn't die, I think would be kind of funny.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? It was just probably because I was like, I overextended, and like just seeing somebody like completely sprawled out, like and overextended, and I was trying to keep myself from over and smacking on my back. And so like my legs probably were like, completely spread apart, and I was able to like balance myself out. So, but again, I think laughter and these things, being able to see the fun in things, and again, it's not all the time you're gonna have this, but for me, it feels like it's a good thing to have positiveness and laughter and fun with a lot of things if you can. You know what I mean? Especially to look at it and be able to laugh about it later.
Yeah.
Again, not everything's laughable, but I think that it's okay to laugh at things that even if they aren't something that other people find funny. You know what I mean? I think, and again, not laughing at people, but this episode is really about having fun with whatever it is that you do. And I tell Letty this all the time. I'm going to be happy at all costs. And I think there's a lot to be said about that. I think there's a lot for me, I feel like it is a way of life. You know what I mean? Like happy at all costs. Like I'm not going to go stepping on people's heads to climb a ladder and laugh at them. You know what I mean? But I'm saying my happiness, again, may not be everybody else's happiness. My happiness is within me, and I want to put outward what I have inside me. And I'm learning that it's not always the best for other people. Just because it makes me laugh and happy doesn't mean that everybody else is going to find that happy. And sometimes it hurts me to hear that from other people. Some people are like, man, that's not that funny. I mean, so, and I got to really sometimes tone it down a little bit to where I'm not overbearing and I can hurt people's feelings, because if you laugh at something that other people might not find funny, some people get offended. They can. I've had it happen before. And so it can be a bit, like unnerving or like a little bit embarrassing sometimes too, to where you're like, wow, I wish I didn't really make that person feel anything by laughing at that. But again, what I find funny, not everybody else is going to. So Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
rolling. Sorry, I'm rolling. She said,
wait,
sorry, I'm
what
rolling.
Jordan said.
Let's see.
What
She
did
said,
he say?
I did a dirt ramp jump on my son's bike, small bike.
Ooh.
Let me tell you, I gained a lot of speed and did not land it, and his bike didn't make it.
But
That's
you're
crazy.
still here, Jordan.
Listen, I jumped. Okay, this one. I was at the lake, and these people built a ramp, right? They built a ramp for the bike, and this bike
Yeah.
had floaties on it, so that when they jumped, it wouldn't sink. So their whole goal was this jump was about 25, 30 feet in the air. You jump off. It wasn't just like into the water. It was like off a cliff. And I was a cliff junkie, y'all. Like for real, I got so many. The thing that was funny about the last one is that I got it on video. So I had it on video. So I would set cameras up. I've been a photographer for years, and I always had a camera. So the thing that about the last one I said is I left out was that I had a camera set up. I think I actually had somebody film it for me.
Yeah.
And I did this, and I was able to look back and laugh at it later. So, but with this particular story, there was a bike ramp at the lake, and I remember I'm like, oh, I'm the first one going. They didn't want to go. The people who built it, they were like scared. I was like, shoot, give me the bike. And so I went first. I hooked it, and I jumped. And as soon as I jumped, like I was, oh shoot, what am I gonna do with this bike? This bike's gonna hit, and I'm gonna knock my teeth on it or something, right? So I'm like, oh. So I freaked out and I froze in the air. And so I had this bike, and I didn't want to let it go because I'm afraid I was gonna land on it. So I'm like, oh shoot. So I just held onto it, and I'm like tipping sideways. I jumped off, and I didn't really have. I started going sideways. Bah! And I hit on my ribs so hard. But I did it though. Something that I was able to laugh about after I got up. But boy, it hurt like a mug. I'll tell you what. 35 feet, 25, 35 feet. And I just had to hold on to this bike. And I'm just
picturing you like slow motion.
Like E.T. Like, so I smacked hard. And those are the kind of things that you can look back on and laugh and just say, you know what? At least I did it. I did a lot of crazy stuff as a kid, as a teen, even as an adult. I've done some crazy stuff. But a lot of it, I can look back and laugh. Some of the things, you know, there's some trauma. There's some things that I've done. Like me and Letty got at the 7-Eleven. The dude wanted to shoot me. Remember that? That's not something you want to laugh about. But there is comedy in a lot of things. And I think that it's okay to laugh about things, especially if there were things that happen for you or to you or with you. And so let's see what else we got here. He said, Justin, that's some ETA,
right, for real. Yeah.
But yes, okay, so we're almost close to our hour here. And what session this was with you guys, and we're glad to have you guys here with us. Shout out to everybody who joined us tonight. We had 6 people plus here, and we want to say thank all of you for being here with us and spending some time with us. We really enjoyed this one. This one we're going to talk about when we get off here, and this was a fun one, you guys. Let me just say, this was really fun having you guys in the comments, having you guys interacting with us. And we're just really happy and glad to have you guys here on this journey with us. We are on YouTube right now, so check us out. Just like
Subscribe.
us on YouTube, and we're on what's the other one? Spotify. Yes, Spotify. We're on Spotify, just like us. JUSLIKES. Spotify, just like us. YouTube, just like us. Facebook, just like us. And there's one more. Is there
another one?
Yes, I think there is. We should know this by now. Up here. Either way,
it's just the 2 Facebooks.
Is it?
YouTube,
okay.
Yeah.
And Spotify. Okay, so you guys know how to find us. We would love to have some of you guys come on. We've had Deandra and Jordan. We'd love to have you guys back on as well.
Yes.
Anybody who's in the chats, if you guys would love to get a chance to maybe come promote what you want, come up here and speak with us and let us know what your business is or your personal life or things that you're going through that may add value that people could find some laughter in. You know, we say reach out to us and let's get some things going. We'd love to have you guys on here and you know, help grow with us and have some fun, you know, because it really, at the end of the day, the things that matter are family, you know, your friends, your life, and the immediate things around you, because you're not going to take the money with you. You're not going to be able to take the cars with you. Let's laugh while we can, have fun, enjoy it, make some memories, and live a good, fun, happy life full of laughter.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? So again, shout out to everybody who's here with us. Thank you all for being here. And until next time, continue to loving on each other and being